Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be doing a little bit of work back here in what we're now calling the North Garden. We called it the formal garden, and I'm not sure why other than the fact that it has a boxwood hedge and some urns in it. It's the one right near our barn. So there's the barn. It's become a little bit of a disaster area because we trenched from the Hartley over this direction to get water over here, which we'd never had a hose here, but now we do, which has been so nice. And we also had to get the AC unit for the Hartley tucked behind the barn, so it went all the way back there. So when we did that, of course, you know, it wrecked the grass over here. We also took out all of the paver edging that actually happened last year. And we removed some of the hydrangeas that were here. It also, when we created this bed, because we're going to strive to have a very thick mixed border of evergreens and deciduous trees back here, which we've made a pretty good start. You know, there's a lot of spruces and pines back here. Things are doing fairly well. We did lose the one Deodora cedar that we had right here, which we kind of expected. The root ball split in half when we planted it. So anyway, when we did that, it wrecked the sprinkler system back here. So, you know, this part of this grass is dying. And we knew that would happen because we are going to eliminate most of the grass that's back here. And the boxwoods are going to go. So it was one of those last things that, you know, I've always kind of liked this boxwood formation. It has a broken fountain in the center, but it was just a nice formal touch back here. But this garden has never really made sense. I mean, you guys know when we do garden tours throughout all these years, I hardly ever come back here because there's never any changes. There's no reason to come back to this space, and we need to fix that. We need to make every little bit of our space a space that we want to go to and that we really enjoy. So I did roughly sketch out an idea for back here. It's super simple. In fact, we plan on being very, very formal and a little bit more intricate around the house and around the Hartley. And as we go further and further away from the house, we're going to try to simplify and make things a little bit less formal, I guess. You can see the Hartley right there. We're going to move this water a bit, but we are going to create a vista back here. So something beautiful to look at and kind of draw your eye back here. You know, it is split apart by a driveway right there. So we'll have the formal gardens behind the Hartley, and then back here we'll have some kind of statement piece right here that as you look, you know, through the doorways, you'll be able to see the statement that we have behind the Hartley. We're doing that as well. I don't know if we're going to do a fountain or a piece of art or something, but then we'll also have something back here as another layer. And this will become our opening. So we'll have probably an arbor here and on the other side. And then the pathway will come in here and it will cruise this way. So it'll allow, well, let me get out from under the tree. It'll go this way and kind of go right in front of the pine so that you can access the area behind the barn. But it will also go this way and it will curve through this garden space and go out the other side. So it's kind of just this huge behemoth in the back of this garden space that I can't figure out how to incorporate it and make it look like it belongs and have wide enough pathways to move around in a gator or really even like a couple people, because this is it next down. I mean, we could retool this flower bed a little bit, but I want bigger things. I want it to possibly feel like a little bit of a secret garden space back here in the end. So we've got to create some breathing space back here. And you guys, Erin has been trying to rehome the boxwoods because we do have quite a number of friends that have equipment, like a little excavator or something like that, that if you really wanted to, you could dig something like this out and try to rehome it. And we did have possibly one person fairly interested in trying, and we told them, we'll hold off and let it get a little cooler so that they have a better chance. But I just want this to be an encouragement to you guys. If there's something in your garden, even if it's not sick or diseased, it's a plant. If you don't enjoy it, if it's messing up the flow of your garden and, you know, kind of keeping you from using your space, just like take it out and make the space the way that you want to have it. There have been a few things, like this is the biggest thing though that we've taken out just because it's messing with the master plan that we are going for here. Most of the other things we've taken out here, it's out of necessity, like due to disease or, you know, something that's almost already dead. So anyway, it's still tough, even though I know it's going to be so much better in the end. It's still a tough thing to do, but that's not what we're working on today. What Erin and I are going to do is rehome these urns to a different part of our garden. I'm not even sure exactly where they're gonna go yet, but I'm gonna go grab the tractor and kind of get set up back here, and we're gonna start to get them moved because I love them. I love these urns in the pedestal. They are kind of crumbly in some spots, but that kind of lends to the charm, I think. So we've got the 2 urns and pedestals and then a single urn I'm gonna use from the top of this fountain. Remember this fountain, you guys, when we dropped the top and it popped a big hole in the bottom? It is a solid urn and it's got a drain hole and it's beautiful. Like, that's a gorgeous urn. So we can totally still use that part. I think that this base is kind of beyond. It's beyond something that I'm willing to attempt, and it's super duper old. I don't know, somebody may want it to create a planter or something, but so we'll try our best to find it a home, but I'm gonna use that. So this is what we're looking at. We've got the same style urn that's on top of the fountain down here. You know, you can see that it's got a nice patina. Erin thinks that we should just get new ones, but I think they're great. I love it. So we're gonna take the top off and then take the bottom off that paver and then set the paver somewhere and level it up somewhere out in the south garden probably, and then we'll put the whole thing back together. Right now I have color guard yuccas in here, and we'll probably swap that out. Maybe not today, but the beautiful part about these, they do need to be groomed because they haven't been in about a year. But, oh yeah, it's pretty easy. Maybe we could at least groom them today. I haven't watered these ever. Like, I watered them when we very first put them in, and then I think they've lived here for 3 years. And they bloom. You can see the bloom stalk right there. They bloom. They look like there's at least something in the pot, and I don't have to touch them. Maybe I should touch them more often though. My goodness. Okay, let's get these moved and then I'll work on grooming them up. So let's go grab the tractor first, and then I'll let Erin know that we are ready to roll. And if we can get this done quickly, maybe we can plant a few things too today.
Go to get the tractor?
I am.
Oh, well.
That worked out nicely. I was gonna get the tractor and be all ready to go for you, but this works out great. Erin out here testing the water. Looks like it's all working.
Yeah.
Ooh, got the forks on it and everything. Easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So there's the base right there. There's the top. And then we were going to dig this out and go place it underneath wherever we're going to put it. This was actually poured here. I thought it was just an extra large paver. I should have known better. It's really thick and really heavy. Whew, I'm like out of breath.
Is that typical? Is that normal just to put the concrete on the dirt?
Maybe. It's worked for however many years these urns have been here. It's likely, you guys, that these urns, wherever we put them, are going to be not permanent wherever we put them, because we'll figure out a new spot and like a new plan. My plan today is just to get them out of this space so we can continue on working back here, and we'll put them somewhere where they look pretty, but it won't be in any kind of real design. I feel like I need to flank something with urns that look like this, like an opening to something, something like that, or have a design. Like these were flanking this great big boxwood formation here, so we'll likely move them after we set them down somewhere today at some point. This garden has taught me to learn how to be flexible, that's for dang sure. So I think this first one we're gonna try to place right here in this opening. And it might work here. I would need to plant more things around it. I would like it to look kind of like it's being lifted up by whatever is planted below it. But I think it'll work for now. I'm not sure how far Erin will be able to get it into the flower bed. It is amazing how much those chunks of concrete weigh. I like it right there. I think it's gonna really work out. I mean, the calycanthus is gonna get a lot bigger behind it. So will the black lace elderberry. It kind of has a tucked in vibe because this tall grass is slightly in front of it on one side. And then it leaves us enough room to come in with something wonderful right in front of it. Oh, that's really pretty. I was a little worried that, you know, when you put stuff out, stuff that's this tall, concrete pieces, in a garden that isn't, you know, fully developed, it's not, you know, stuff isn't as big as it's gonna get, things can tend to look a little perched. And I didn't know if I would really like that because the little gal, the statue that I have over here, she's already kind of tucked in, but she's a lot smaller. See her, she's really pretty. This is the one that Aaron got me for, I think, our first Christmas. Love her. I have room to plant something in front of her right there too. While we're waiting, we can take a look at this little flower bed and see how everything's doing because we planted these beautiful, I think this is a pink microchip buddleias, and I didn't know if I was gonna love having them all in the same spot, but I love it. Just this huge drift of this color is so pretty. The little Henry Itias struggling a little bit. I think they weren't getting enough water earlier on, especially that one. We've since upped the water and they're starting to put on new growth. So hopefully we see a rebound with that one. Those two look fine. But these are all real pretty. The variegated sedum, and then there's I can't remember that variety of sedum for some reason, but the skull cap is looking especially good. Look at how gorgeous that is. And then we've got the Sesky Gold Dwarf Birch, the Wichita Blue Juniper, coral berry right over here. It's just really coming together. Here it comes, slow and steady. I didn't really feel like that urn was super tippy, but you still want to be careful. All right guys, both of the urns have been placed and I really actually like where both of them ended up. One on either side of the south garden, and I think by having them separated, since they're the same piece, it will make it look not so like, you know, I feel like if I had them close together or you could see them both at the same time, I would need to make sure that they were put in exactly the right spot. But since they're separated, you can kind of just plunk them right in the flower bed and they look really good. So I think my camera shut off while we were placing the second one. We'll be back out there in a second and I'll show you and we'll clean up the yuccas. Aaron thinks we should toss the yuccas. He's probably right. But anyway, we're back though here to get these concrete pads out. And you know, I do think it's going to be nice to have this area opened up. I mean, we're going to heavily plant it, especially along the side, like the borders. We want it to be very, very thick so you can't really see through it. But here is one of my thoughts for back here. I don't know if we're going to do it, but it's maybe. So over here on this side, you know, this is where you exit. Wouldn't it look cool? So like this will all be really thick over here. Wouldn't it look cool if we put in a pond right here and like had the pathway turn into a bridge to go over the pond to get out? It doesn't have to be enormous, you know, I don't know. Or maybe just a pond with the grass path that goes by it, you know, just kind of like tucked into this back area in here. We'll see. Okay, so we're probably gonna start in with more cardboard because we did the no-dig method back here and it's working beautifully, you guys. We did a layer of cardboard, like thicker cardboard, and then a really thick layer of mulch on top of it. And we really haven't had to do much weeding or anything. So it's been really, really nice. We didn't edge anything. I mean, it's not a super clean edge at the moment, but it looks pretty good. So we'll probably do the same method to get rid of all the rest of this. We won't lift any of it. And then we can start fresh. And then as soon as this boxwood formation is gone and the center fountain, we will work on marking out where we want the grass pathway, and we'll have new sprinklers put in for that. Just like we did for the south garden. The sprinkler system back here has never worked properly. We've shown you all the big dry patches. It just never had the proper coverage and we were constantly fighting it. So that will be a nice thing, to have nice grass. The small amount that we keep back here will be nice. Okay, let's run out to the south garden. I'll show you where the second urn ended up, and then we might grab a couple of plants. I think we have time to put at least, I don't know, just a few in the ground. So walking into this space, you can barely see it behind the birch. That's kind of perfect. So as you kind of round the birch tree, then there it is. Isn't that pretty right there? Oh, especially we just planted the lemony lace recently. So I have 3 lemony lace elderberries that will grow up and kind of like we can keep them pruned down a little bit because they have a tendency to get anywhere from 4 to 7 feet tall. So if I let them get all the way tall, like I could let these 2 get a little taller, but we can kind of prune them so they kind of hollow out a little section and we can see this. I think that'll be so pretty. Here are the plants we're going to put in the ground today. I'm really excited about these. They're so pretty. We've got some asters, and I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. I think it's something like munch. Anyway, they're a light lavender aster. So pretty. They get quite tall, 2 to 3 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. We've got 6 of them here, and look at this color with this rose. I'm not sure that they're going to end up in the same spot, but they would be pretty together, wouldn't they? So the Alnwick rose, I picked these up early this spring when they were still, like, I don't even know if I brought them home when they were leafed out. It was early and I still haven't planted them. So 4 feet tall by 3 feet wide. They're really a good size for the west side, I'm thinking, because we've got that one span between urns that I don't really have much in yet. And we've got the Royal Jubilee rose and Mary rose already in that section. So it might be kind of nice to have one more variety of pink in there, I think. So this variety is a zone 4 through 11 and will repeat bloom from June through September, and it has a medium strong old rose scent. Now these blooms are kind of small. It's because I think they're a little bit stressed being in their cans for a while. So I expect these to be a little bit bigger next year once, you know, the plant has had a chance to root in. But look at the color. Look at how beautiful that is. The scent is nice too. There's another one right here. Overall, pretty healthy looking for going through all the heat that we've had, and coming out the other side looking pretty nice. And then these asters right here, which they have a really kind of like velvety appearance. They do feel kind of velvety. They are a zone 5, hardy down to -20, bloom summer through late fall. So prefers rich, fertile garden soil, don't we all? Okay, let's go find some spots for these. I think I'm gonna start with the roses over on the west side, and if we have enough room to tuck the asters in, that'd be great. If not, I'll pop them out here somewhere. See, right in here we have a Mary rose here, 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 and then there's 2 right there. And then there's a gap right in this section, and then there's 3 Royal Jubilees. I think we should pop the roses right in here. The Mary rose are looking real pretty. I just love them. These are all transplants from behind where the Hartley is. I planted these when the gazebo was still there. Ooh, perennials are looking rough. First year perennial beds can be a little bit sketch because a lot of times, you know, you're dealing with a little bit of leaf scorch. They're not rooted in yet. They haven't filled in yet. It's kind of what I'm seeing in this bed on some of the plants. And then here are the Royal Jubilees. Here, here, and here. About ready to bloom out. They've all got a really similar pink color, and it's kind of nice to repeat throughout. So I think we'll pop one in right in here, and then probably right down the way, and then over there. Kind of spread them out a little bit. are. They look so good in this space. It just looks fun to have something here. Now the plants that I'm repeating in this area, in really no particular order, I'm just kind of making sure that I've got some throughout, are roses, iris, lady's mantle, and delphiniums. So I've got some iris right here. I want that texture all throughout. The delphiniums I have are, there's some back here that I've cut back. There's lady's mantle right here, which I've got more, and I'll probably repeat that here. And then another section right in here, right in front of this urn, I think. And then I've got more delphiniums here and here. I don't know, I really like that dark purple delphinium with the pink roses, and then the lady's mantle just brings a nice chartreuse pop, especially when it's in bloom. And then the iris adds that really nice texture. So we've got some iris right in here, as well as some lady's mantle right down below. And lady's mantle kind of adds that bold texture too. And then I've got a whole bunch of other stuff. The drops of Jupiter oregano, the bush clematis there. There's some echinacea. There's veronica and phlox. Man, the phlox looks rough. Should just cut that back. And then we've got some ajuga starting as well. And then I would like to add some more buddleia, even some more small ones. This is a Miss Violet, so it'll get 5 to 6 feet tall and wide. I think I'm gonna put the asters out in the south garden because as I was planting these roses, I realized that I already have Stokes asters. It's a purple aster up here. They're little now, but they will grow and they will get bigger. So see that? So I've got something similar already. So we'll go ahead and pop those other ones out in the south garden quick. I just saw that we've got a volunteer dichondra silver falls. I had that in the containers one year. Well, that's fun. That's a good color in this bed too, with all the cool pinks and purples. Okay, since these get 2 to 3 feet tall, thinking, what if we do a little drift of those back behind these white wands veronica, and I've got nothing else over here. So if I just did a little drift right here, then I can come in with something shorter. I think that'd be pretty. And there they are, all planted. I'm really proud of this white wands veronica for making it. You know, we dug this up along the west side, kind of close to where we just put the roses, and I didn't necessarily get a huge root ball on these, and it was hot. And I put them out here, watered them in, and they just have taken off. I mean, look at their blooms, and there's pollinators all over them. And I think that because these hold their color for a real long time, having these start to bloom, that beautiful lavender alongside the white, that'll be really pretty. And then I feel like I need some kind of a sedum in here that's got like a pink or a purple kind of tone to it. And just beyond it, we have a blueberry muffin viburnum, which I'm also proud of this plant. I didn't think that it could handle the brutal all-day sun, but look at it. It's just sitting there doing its thing. A little bit of burn, just a little bit, but it's a first-year plant, so you know, I can't really expect it to do much better than this. It's doing great. And then this grass I adore. This one's called Blonde Ambition. Isn't that just the most graceful, beautiful looking grass? I just think it's so pretty. And then we've got pink echinacea and then some nepeta right over there, and the tiger eyes sumacs, which these are gonna start coloring up here really soon. Thought I saw some color earlier. Maybe not. I did see some color the other day. And now it's time to go in and start dinner. That is it for today's project. Super happy with the placement of the, can we see the urn right here? Right there. can never see it in the camera screen. The screen's about this big. I'm really happy with the placement of those and really the progression in the backyard. Everything we move out of there, or the north garden rather, everything we move out of there, we can start clearing it even more, and then we can start executing on the design that we have semi fleshed out. I'll share it with you guys at some point. Like, I barely even have it drawn out. It's on a tiny little scrap piece of paper, so I'll get a more proper drawing and then kind of share some of the ideas we have in that space. But it's just one step at a time, you guys, and one plant at a time out here. So very excited about the new additions, and I'm excited to see some blooms on these asters. I think it's going to be so pretty. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.